August 23rd, 2019. Can you please describe your current office? Robert Moor asked. A while back, you gave me a very nice description of your old office, and this was what I had sent him. We had a ginger-striped tabby named Tigger who lived in staff offices, where my office was, and he could usually be found lounging on the desk of my office, purring softly because it was warm in there. I'm really cold-natured. There was always a dusting of cat hair on everything. Tigger was a stray that had been around the sanctuary since he was a kitten in the 90s. He had the feline version of AIDS and couldn't live in a house with other cats or be allowed to roam the grounds. He's been gone a while now. On the walls were paintings, sketches, and reprints of cats in the wild that donors had given to the sanctuary over the years. I believe that what you think about, you bring about, so I try to make sure these images I see every day are cats living wild and free, the way they should be. I can't help but see them in cages every time I step outside. I don't want that vision to be their future. I have always had a huge screen iMac on my desk because I edit photos and videos for the sanctuary and need both the power and the screen resolution to see detail. Is most of that, and then Robert asked, is most of that true of your new office as well? What does your window look out over? I answered, when our staff grew, I moved from that lovely corner office to the utility closet in the Lion's Lair Party Pavilion. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,800 square foot mobile home that I brought in to have a space for our volunteers to gather for quarterly appreciation parties. We also use that space for our weekly staff meetings, and we rent it out to parties to raise money for the cats. Jamie has always had her office out there in what would have been the master bedroom. Our outreach director and our online sales manager each use one of the bedrooms as their office. The 4th bedroom had been turned into a storage closet for all of our party gear, such as tablecloths, PA system, seasonal decorations, and office supplies. In order to make space for our incoming Director of Donor Appreciation, I vacated the space I had described to you and moved into this storage room. Since the room, which is about 12 feet by 12 feet, has the walls lined with floor-to-ceiling storage racks, I hung leopard print motif shower curtains over them to hide the contents. On the wall behind my desk, I covered the entire wall with a green screen drape so that I can do my daily big cat briefing videos and occasional cat chat video recordings. The original green shag carpet and all of the material draped over every hard surface creates a good sound booth effect as well. On the floor is a painting that reminds me of a Monet lily pond. It's too heavy to hang on the thin mobile home wall, so it rests on the floor. Walking into my office, the first thing I see is a photo of Winsong the bobcat, who was the founder of the sanctuary, the one in this painting. My desk is a single sheet of glass over 4 legs that is completely covered by 2 large monitors. One is my iMac, where I answer over 200 emails a day, as well as get actual work done. The other is an equally large monitor connected to a computer that is too large to fit under my desk, as it was custom made to handle the task of processing the enormous files necessary to create 5.7K resolution 3D and 360 videos. I spend a lot of time editing footage I shoot of the cats for the purpose of stimulating demand for seeing cats in virtual and augmented reality, instead of demand for seeing them in cages. The editing computer has an Oculus Rift, taking up most of the desk space, and I have been submitting them for review. It costs about $10,000 to build, but that tiger will live forever. What am I saying there? The editing computer has an Oculus Rift taking up most of the desk space, and I use it to monitor the progress of the world's first CGI tiger that will be free on Oculus. It's done, and it has been submitted to them for review. It cost about $10,000 to build, but that tiger will live forever and is a much better way to experience a tiger than seeing one languishing in a cage. Under my desk are all of the recording equipment for that purpose, and the Oculus Go for reviewing the footage for quality. The room is hot because of all of the equipment and the fact that the setting sun beats on this end of the trailer. I've put a lot of insulation behind the green screen, but it's just not enough, so I have a little fan on my desk when it gets too hot. I'm cold-natured anyway, and I spend a lot of time running out to help with moving cats, greeting guests, and such, so this otherwise unbearable office space is being put to its highest and best use. When we have parties scheduled, I bring all of the stuff we don't want people to mess with into my office. One of those things is a full-length bobcat fur coat on a rack. It has been my intention to find a glass case for it so that I don't have to keep moving it, but I haven't done that yet. It's hard for me to look at it, and even harder for me to carry it in and out of the office. But it's a reminder that we succeeded in pretty much ending the fur trade in the U.S., and that eventually we will end it everywhere. Robert wrote back asking for a photo of Windsong, to which I gave this ridiculously long reply. Just the image or a photo of the room with it on the desk. Attached is a photo of her that is etched in glass on my desk. It looks like a photo of my desk, but it's actually made of glass. A supporter did it for me. Thank you, Deb. There is also a painting of Windsong that was done by a supporter that I see every day. This is an older photo of me with it. I'm writing from the desk in my office, but can send you a photo of Windsong on my desk when I get to the office. My home office is 10 feet by 10 feet with a double window view of the creek that surrounds my home. This property is a piece of paradise, as it is almost 5 acres of rolling green terrain that is thick with palms, oaks, hickory trees, and all the wildlife that finds it a refuge from the surrounding area. I had a countertop built in a U shape around my rolling chair, so I can rock it around on the tile floor from one workstation to the next. It's laminated to look like dark green marble. It's easy to clean, and that's a good thing because I eat almost all of my meals at either this desk or the glass one in the office while I work. The base of the countertops are file cabinets full of real estate files, sanctuary files, and office supplies. There is a double rack for all of the internet equipment and the mini backup drives, as well as the Oculus Go I use for testing our videos when I work from home. On the desk are photos of Howie, Jamie, as well as one of Hercules the snow leopard and Bailey Bobcat. There is a painting of Joseph Lyon on the wall by a supporter. On bookstands are photos of Nikita Lioness, Hallelujah Cougar, and Rain Dance Bobcat. There are sculptures of a leopard, a tiger, a couple domestic cats, a cougar, a winged victory, and a huge amethyst given to me by a supporter who hosted me during my time in Ohio for the legislative hearing to ban wildcat possession. There is a paw painting by a Siberian lynx named Natasha. The selection of cats in my office has really been random and based on people giving me photos they have chosen and framed, or the sculptures that have been gifts. My daily routine is to get up around 7:30 a.m., brush my hair, make coffee, and start answering emails. I usually do that until about 10, although I try to vary it, and then bike to work. I can take a number of routes and try not to take the same route through my neighborhood twice in a row. Once I get about half a mile into the 5-mile trek, I only have 2 options: the Upper Tampa Bay Trail, 45 minutes, or the sidewalks down Sheldon Road, 30 minutes. Arriving at the sanctuary, I do ride through and say hello to the volunteers and staff I see and greet any VIP guests that may be touring with our Director of Donor Appreciation, or Howie. If I see the operations manager, I'll get a rundown on how ailing cats are doing and anything we are working on. Then I go back to my office, which is at the far south end of the property, and start in answering emails and organizing other projects that I'll be working on. Those include reviewing cat news, sending out alerts, updating the websites, video editing, recording how-to videos for staff and volunteers who are taking on new projects. These tasks are interrupted by handling calls about wildlife in trouble, people who call the emergency Bobcat rescue line because they want to talk to a real person about tour times and can't get one on our main line, and dealing with real estate contractors to develop parcels for sale or rent. Our supporters really like me to follow the evening meds and snacks volunteer, who gives out the extra food to our picky eaters and thus makes sure the evening meds are consumed. I do a live feed on Facebook so they can see the cats getting their meds and snacks. That usually takes place right before dusk, so I'm always in a rush to bike home before dark. During hurricane season, I have to bike around and sometimes through storms. I bike rather than drive because it's just one more small thing I can do for our planet, like eating a mainly vegan diet. If you're enjoying my diary, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find other ways to connect to me over at bigcatrescue.org/Carole.Baskin.